Welcome back to the news at 10. Since the inception of the Fourth Republic, there's always been the question of whether or not there's a virile opposition. One of Nigeria's opposition parties, the People's Democratic Party, has just emerged from a turbulent legal battle, and they vowed to provide a virile opposition to the country. On our big story tonight, our political correspondent Osinbajo examines democracy, the opposition and party roles.
Taste is the difference. Nothing tastes like my Indomie.
The jubilation echoes from the courtroom. Since the PDP lost hold of the centre in 2015, the party has been left for dead. It was a crossing line for the major opposition party, the PDP, after a series of leadership tussle. Hear what this means for the leaders of the party.
We are going to have a viable opposition for the ruling party to put them on toes.
They've judged correctly and they've set in motion a new powerful process of democracy in Nigeria.
Some even believe the ruling APC is the author of the internal trouble the PDP has faced over the past months.
It was the federal government and Buhari and Osinbajo and all of them that we were fighting. And unfortunately for them, they have been defeated and the Supreme Court has given us our party back.
Wait a minute. You're perhaps asking, is the PDP the only political party in Nigeria? No. We had 40, and in the last 1 month or so, that number has gone to 45, and it will increase as the umpire INEC is considering about 90 more requests from other organizations who want to be political parties. So, is there really an opposition party in Nigeria?
Yeah, PDP as a party, I'm afraid no. It is yet to be done on them that they are in opposition. The same way it was difficult for AC to realize that it was a party in power for the first 6 months or 1 year. You will still see that rascality, radicalism of criticism in them, as if they were in opposition.
As the PDP has suddenly found its voice in Nigeria's democratic system, the ruling APC, which has had almost a turbulent internal running, seems to be waking up from its slumber.
For PDP is a non-issue, complete non-issue. We don't even care about that. We defeated them when they were in power, so what was different when we're not in power?
The APC in 2 years has not had any national convention. Several critical issues left hanging. The relationship between the Executive and National Assembly, controlled by the ruling APC, is better described as a cat and mouse relationship.
In a democracy, okay, it is the opposition that rules, but the ruling party stays in power. You know, dialectically, what that means is that you cannot really rule without the opposition putting you on your toe.
It is a critical moment in the nation's history where many Nigerians are asking for the restructuring of the nation. The people are still waiting for a concrete answer from government. It is over 2 years since the inauguration of the APC government. A party which promised change is now burdened on delivering on its own promises. It may be 2 years to the 2019 elections, but definitely it is less than a year before the usual political overtures begin. Even INEC has since released timetable for the 2019 elections. So in essence, time is running out on the APC before it is faced with a judgment before the court of the electorate at the polls. But what will the opposition parties say they have done in profiling an alternative? The PDP may have a lot to convince Nigerians, as the question of where they left the country at 2015 is still hanging over their heads. For the big story, Osinbajo reporting for Channels Television News.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Ijoma, and welcome to Business News. The acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, has written to the House of Representatives requesting for a virement of about 135.6 billion naira. In the letter read to the House by the Speaker, Yakubu Dogara, Professor Osinbajo says the money will be used to finance critical priority projects in the 2017 budget. Some of the ministries to benefit include the Federal Ministry of Power, Works and Housing, the Ministry of Transportation, and the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development.
Prior to the signing, discussions and consultations were held between the executive and the leadership of the National Assembly on some critical priority items for which adequate provisions had not been made in the 2017 Appropriation Act. You would also recall that it was agreed that the executive should submit a virement proposal to the National Assembly for your consideration. The purpose of this letter, therefore, is to forward the virement proposal. The total amount of virement being proposed is 135,643,018,749 naira. In the light of the above, I implore you to urgently consider this virement proposal in order to support our collective efforts to improve the well-being of our citizens.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara. Now, the Nigeria's Ministry of Water Resources has met with the organized private sector right here in Lagos in an attempt to secure partnerships that will lead to the improvement of water supply and sanitation delivery. The project is expected to cost about 510 billion naira, and it's supposed to span between 2016 and 2030. The Minister of Water Resources, Sulaiman Adamu, says Nigeria needs to invest about 1.7% of its current gross domestic product, and that's about $8 billion every year to compensate for past underinvestment. Demands for stocks across four major sectors of the Nigerian Stock Exchange and a positive market breadth pushed the key broad index higher today at the close of trading. Let's join Bisi Adebayo for the details.
Nigeria's stock market enters its 11th successive gain, driven by a strong 2.19% rebound in the industrial sector and the performance from UBA and Wema Bank. Investors' positive sentiment is also attributed to Skybank's announcement on Tuesday of a fresh recap program submissions of 2016 earnings to the CBN and the recovery of bad loans in excess of 6 billion naira. The bank also saw its second straight advance of 9.52% today, which placed the lender in number 2 after small-cap healthcare Nemeth, while on the losers category, 7up leads with 4.99%. Overall transactions yielded a total of 191.43 million units of shares, worth over 2.18 billion naira in 3,718 deals. The main volume drivers for Thursday are Prestige Insurance, GT Bank, and Transco. And that's it on the stock market reports. I am Bisi Adebayo.
Thank you, Bisi. Well, Asian stock markets closed higher earlier today, but their European counterparts ended uptick across board as investors digested ECB's decision to leave interest unchanged and news from the Bank of Japan. Let's see how they ended today. And with those numbers, we end Business News tonight. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm Anne Nwaodo. The rest of the news at 10 continues with Ijoma.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Anne. 400 communities have benefited from the MTN Foundation What Can We Do Together project. This figure was released by the chairman of the foundation, Prince Julius Adelusi, at an event to celebrate this milestone, as well as reward nominators of the various projects executed by MTN Foundation. He also said the initiative, which started in 2015, has seen MTN Foundation spend over 1.1 billion naira on these projects as a way of connecting people.
It's the second phase of the MTN What Can We Do Together project. And the executive members, management, staff of MTN Nigeria and MTN Foundation, as well as nominators and well-wishers, are gathered here in Lagos. 400 communities have benefited from the initiative since it birthed in 2015. This, for the foundation, is a dream come true.
These comprise of 40 healthcare centers provided with medical equipment and supplies, 174 schools with new set of school furniture, 66 orphanages benefiting from household items, 40 communities provided with 650 feet boreholes to provide clean water, and 40 transformers installed to improve power supply in communities.
The chairman of MTN Foundation and the chairman MTN Nigeria view this feat as a demonstration of what the brand stands for.
We have spent 1.1 billion naira in this initiative since we started it in 2015. This goes to you to show you the concern that MTN has to give back.
Really, the definition of MTN is promoter of good causes. That's what we normally do, promoting good causes anywhere and everywhere, trying to touch the lives of everybody.
As for those who nominated various projects executed by the foundation, they were appreciated for their selfless efforts.
It really helped my community. So we said thank you for the great work MTN is doing. I thank MTN.
With over 18 billion naira already spent on projects in 750 location sites in the country, the management of MTN feels the company's vision to be a leader in corporate social responsibility initiatives in the country is well on course.
Over the years, global payment technology company Visa has built one of the world's most advanced processing networks, and now it's launched a new payment solution, M-Visa. At the launch, the president of Visa of Sub-Saharan Africa, Andrew Torre, said that M-Visa users will also be able to pay bills, transfer funds, and make deposits and withdrawals with M-Visa agents.
Visa is a global payments technology company located in Lagos, Nigeria, and is with a mission of making payments technology accessible to anyone and everyone. It has created M-Visa, a new payment solution. The payment solution M-Visa brings the benefit of a secure digital commerce to financial institutions, merchants and consumers in emerging markets.
And it allows consumers directly from their mobile phones with their mobile banking applications to send a payment to any merchant anywhere with the use of just a QR code.
The first-class payment solution M-Visa is designed to provide all consumers the ability to access funds from underlying accounts for everyday purchases and bill payments.
Once you launch your mobile banking app, you are securely within that space. You just tap on the Pay with M-Visa, and once you do that, you have options to make the payment on a simple QR code, which is a two-dimensional flat surface with a QR on it, and then a merchant ID also there. So once you choose to pay by scanning the QR code, there'll be a box on your screen that will appear. You just place it against the image. It captures some details from the QR code, the name of the merchant, and then you have the flexibility of putting in the value that you have to pay to the merchant. So you put in the value. You also have a PIN that protects that payment functionality. Once you put in your PIN, you just click on Pay, and then your transaction is done. Instantaneously, the merchant receives value.
So it's one great step towards a cashless, cardless environment, and that's we see that as a way to make payments more cost-effective, more secure, and with a better experience.
With this latest innovation from Visa, the company promises a new way to pay and be paid. So from now on, Visa says, scan, pay, and go.
Still ahead on the news at 10, the Confederation of African Football expands African Nations Cup from 16 to 24 teams, changes timing from January to June. That's all sports. Do stay with us.